Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it.
I have to click that. Got it.
Hi, Meredith.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yeah. Can you see me? Oh, you see my screen.
Oh, I see your screen. That's fair enough. That's fine.
Right. Because we have a special treat today.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we're going to look at somebody's site.
Oh,
do
sweet.
Kind of just do a review.
Awesome.
Not really in terms of SEO, but I think because there's so many different ways you can, review and look at a site, so many different aspects. But I think one of the best ways to increase conversions quickly is to look at your UI, your user interface, in terms of navigation and conversions. Because there's some pretty simple things that you can do, and if you can just improve your conversion rate a little bit, that can, like, to give you an idea of conversion rate. Let's say 100 people are visiting a website and you have a 1% conversion rate. That means 1 out of every 100 people are contacting you.
Okay.
If you can do something to increase your conversion rate from 1% to 1.5%, you might think, well, that's not a big difference, right?
Right.
But technically, you're increasing your business by 50%.
True.
You're going from 1 to 1.5. That's a huge increase. What if you went to 2%? You'd be doubling your business.
Right.
And you can make small changes like this that, they might not double overnight, but you can do things that will have a dramatic impact, like literally overnight.
Wow.
Whereas doing things like getting double the amount of traffic, you can't do that overnight. That takes more work.
Yeah.
So this is a good place to start.
Okay.
So we have a website here. This is a friend of yours. This person has not asked for this.
Right.
I hope they do not sue us.
I think it'll be fine.
Websites are public, though. I mean,
this is true.
I could do this to apple.com.
Right.
They probably would sue me.
Yeah, they'd probably sue you.
Anyway, so what I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to look through this site. I'm not going to go into SEO. I'm not going to talk about how to get more traffic. I'm not going to touch on the content or the wording or anything like that. I'm just going to look at navigation and usability, and how that we can make some small tweaks to improve conversion rate.
Awesome. Great.
So I'm just going to go through this, I think, page by page. So there is obviously a video component to this podcast.
Right. There's a video when you open the page for their website, it starts with a video, which is really cool.
No, I mean, there is, like, this podcast that we're doing has a video component.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Are we going to be videoing this?
We are videoing this.
Oh.
I don't know how we're going to show it to people, but I'll figure that out later.
All right.
I'll put it on, again, just go to meredithshusband.com. I'll have it on there somewhere.
Right.
I'll have it. There's not much on there. There's nothing on there yet. So
right.
It won't be hard to find. So we're looking at the homepage here. First off, I like the design. I think it's very nice. It's consistent. I kind of like the logo. It's very simple but cute. Has some personality.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme, the fonts. I think the design is nice. It gives
it's really clean.
It gives a feel of, at least I think, kind of who this person is a little bit.
Yeah. It's very lovely.
Yes. I feel
Super
very
lovely.
comfortable. I feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
I know what this person is at least aiming for.
Yeah.
So I like that. So let's look first at, this is exactly what if somebody coming to this website for the very first time, this is what they're going to see.
Right.
In terms of the navigation, we got a drop down on one end menu item, two menu items. So there's 5 links at the top. 2 of them have drop downs. My first thought is the color of these drop downs. This is hard to read.
Right.
So the background should be darker.
Right.
Again, this is something you never want to frustrate your users.
Right.
Ever. That's like, you really don't want to do that. So I would just make that a little darker. You don't want them
squinting.
And I realize that this is the color scheme. So maybe if you didn't want to make the background here darker, then you could make the text dark. Something so that it
Stands out more.
Jumps out a little bit more.
Contrasting.
It's very funny because as I'm looking at this is not going to meet accessibility standards. So this is something that you technically could be sued for.
What does that even mean?
Oh, there's all sorts of lawsuits out there. They're mostly bullshit lawsuits, but I've seen these a number of times. Accessibility, like for vision impaired people, one thing you want to make sure is that the text in the background have enough contrast so that they're easy to see. If they're not, a vision impaired person can sue you.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Now, I don't think that happens very often, but what does happen often is lawyers will find a vision impaired person to sign off on whatever they give them. And then lawyers are going to sue websites by the dozens, hundreds, or thousands. This is not a joke. This happens every day.
Wow.
And all they want is a settlement. They just want $10K to go away.
Wow.
And if you don't give it to them, they're going to try to take you to court.
Holy smokes.
So anyway, it just
good to avoid that.
I thought of it because I had just mentioned lawsuits, and here's one. This is not the only thing, but whatever. Okay, so that's my thought on the navigation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think this is fine. I'm about, work, investment, journal, and contact are the links. I'm not thrilled with journal. I don't really know exactly what that is. I assume it's the blog.
Blog, maybe.
I very much assume it's the blog. But what if I'm a user? You got to imagine that all your users are dummies. Right. Not necessarily because they are dummies, but because people don't want to think about anything. Right. So you need to tell them exactly what they're going to see and what to expect. So journal, if I have to spend a fraction of a second a journal, do I want to read this person's journal?
Right.
I don't know. So I'm not crazy about journal. I like it. I mean, it's it's got some character, and I understand not wanting to say blog. Right. But also journal can be, I think it could be better somehow.
Yeah.
That's just an observation. So now I'm going to scroll through the site. And again, I'm not going to get into the design of things.
Right.
Although, like I said, I do like the design.
Super lovely
site. And so as I get down to the bottom here, a couple of thoughts here. So at the bottom, there's a get in the know newsletter subscription, and then there are 3 links. These are what we would call calls to action, CTAs, these links at the bottom. And they're whatever you want your users to do, whatever action you want them to take. If somebody gets to the bottom of your page, any page in your website, that's a good thing. They've stuck around, they've scrolled.
True.
So they are showing some interest. So you want to give them a next step. That's usually why there are links at the bottom, links in the footer, et cetera. In this case, a newsletter subscription. What I would do with this newsletter subscription is move that all the way to the bottom.
Right.
I would put that at the very end.
Right.
And I would also say I would give some description as to what someone might expect to receive in this newsletter. So right now it says sign up with your email address and receive news and updates.
To receive news and updates.
Yeah. What about what?
Right.
So again, your users are dummies. They're not dummies, but tell them exactly. Like, do I want news and updates of what am I going to get? Is it updates about what you had for breakfast?
Right.
I don't care.
What you journaled?
Yes. Well, I mean, it could be. Yeah. Whatever. You just want to be very clear. Are you going to send out coupons? Are you going to send out tutorials? Are you going to recommend lottery ticket numbers? Whatever you're going to send, tell them exactly what they're going to get.
Right.
And then at the bottom, these CTAs. So again, remember, somebody's come to your website. They've made it to the bottom. So they didn't bounce. They didn't leave the site. They have at least a little bit of interest. What do you want them to do next? Right. So one thing that I think you always want to have, probably at the bottom of every page, is how do I book a session?
Right.
Let's say somebody comes to your website and they're all ready to book. Yeah. And they're just looking for the book now button, whereas I don't see it. It should be here somewhere. Up at the top there is contact, but what if I'm ready I just want to book a session?
Right.
There always should be a book a session. I'm of the opinion that whatever you want your users to do, focus on that and just
Right.
just have one CTA. I understand though, you want to have more. This looks nice. It looks balanced,
Yeah.
etc. But
3 is the magic number for 1 or 3. They say odd numbers visually. You don't care.
No, I do care. I mean, design. I understand, and I understand, especially when you're some sort of visual artist, that your website has to also
aesthetically.
Yes. So if I'm selling iPhone covers, aesthetics are not as important.
Right.
But yeah, so I do get that. But certainly one of these, I think, no matter what page you're on, should always be book a session or whatever it is you want that person to do. Chat with me, call me, do jumping jacks, whatever it is you want the person to do. That should be one of these options.
Right.
And then my other thought on these particular links. So we have 3 links at the bottom: learn more about family photos, view my work, discover family films. So I'm not exactly clear what the difference. I understand one of these is going to be about films and one is about photos, but they're both about family. But view my work, is that different from these other 2? How is it different?
Right.
Again, make it clear. Personally, I would probably say one of these should be book a session or contact
probably
you.
The middle one, right?
I would do that, yes, because that's the one you want people to focus on. I might even cheat and make it a little bit bigger. Another one is probably going to be investments or prices. People are going to want to check that. And then I think up at the top here underneath about is kind words. I'm sure that's probably testimonials. I always think you should be ready to show your testimonials that people like your work. That's
well, they have them here above next to the photos.
Right. They have 1.
2. Well, 1.
And whatever. I think that's if you're at a loss of what to include at the bottom. I don't think, you can't really go wrong with testimonials.
Right. Sure.
And to be honest, if one of these is contact and the other is rates and one is testimonials, probably not many people are going to click the testimonials. They're going to go to the rates and contact. So it's kind of like a dummy choice.
Right.
Now, see my work is important. Yeah. But people, I have a feeling if they want to see your work, they might use one of these top links. That's just my feeling. Again, at the end of the page, I think your CTAs want to be aimed towards converting people, not showing them more of your work. If they want to see more of your work, they get the whole rest of the website here. But if they're scrolled all the way to the bottom of the page, you kind of have their interest. So strike while the iron is hot, I guess. And anyway, so let's go through the inner pages. So underneath the about section is Meet Carmen. So this is going to be, I assume, an about page, and it looks fairly
so cute.
Wow, she has a strong core. That's amazing.
So cute.
I do enjoy the photography. Okay, so here's a perfect example of a call to action button. Schedule your free phone consultation, and this looks like it goes to a
let's see, click it.
A scheduling.
Can you click it?
So you schedule a time. Great. That's a super call to action. That's the link I would think you would want to put right down here at the bottom of every page.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a button. Buttons work great. People love to click buttons.
We do.
Clicking a button. It's something like so satisfying.
It is like pushing the button for an elevator before we had to use our elbows during COVID.
Yeah. You know what I would do with this button? I would actually take this button and I would replace this contact link up at the top with that button.
Oh, that's a good
I'd put that button right there. I'm assuming that action is what Carmen wants people to do. That's the next step.
Right.
So whatever the next step is, make it obvious. Make it obvious and make it easy.
Right.
You want to, whatever you're doing or selling, you have an idea of what you want your website visitors to do. Make that option obvious and easy.
Right.
And repeat it. You can repeat the same thing. there's no harm in that. Don't like put it 10 times on one page, but
right.
Click
now.
Yeah. But if you just make this button consistent on every page, that's going to make obvious and easy what the next step is.
Right.
And it's not really, it's a button. So it's going to jump out more than anything else on this page, but it's not like so in your face. It's not flashing and with bells and circles on it, etc.
Right.
It's done tastefully.
It's super cute.
Yes. So next page, kind words. This will be the testimonials, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Fair enough. Again, same recommendations at the bottom of this page. I would make these buttons consistent across the website. Of course, there are going to be some pages, if you're already on the investment page, you don't need a link to the investment page. You can replace that with something.
Right.
But same thing I would have down here in the bottom. One of your CTA buttons or one of your CTA links would be to schedule a session.
Right.
And the FAQ.
So cute.
Yeah.
I need an FAQ page.
Do you have an FAQ?
No.
Well, we're not. We'll do your site next week.
Okay. Oh, no.
Relax. Okay. So same thing. This is a very similar format to the testimonials page. Again, same recommendation across the site. Make all the CTA links at the bottom the same. So next we're going to go to the work page. I probably will not have any recommendations here.
That's so lovely.
It is. It's a really lovely site.
Yeah.
I really do.
Herc's great.
I really do like it.
Yeah.
And this is a WordPress site.
Yeah.
If you're curious. So the investment page. So the investment, looks like there are two investment pages, one for films, one for photo packages. So we're on the film packages. Let's see. So I'm just scrolling through here. Okay, I have a good recommendation on this page. Okay. Number 1. So if people is coming to this page, that people is going to want this information. This is what they're coming here for.
Right.
They want the prices. Yeah. This information should be at the top.
Right.
This should be right after. Having the header here is fine.
Yeah,
that's no problem.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like that. But after that, have your prices. What are the pricing packages? I mean, that's the name of this page, isn't it? Of film packages. Films packages? Should probably be film packages.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Who knows? Films? I don't know what I'm talking about. And then after you have what it is that people can buy, then you have, I've got you every step of the way. Then it's the process. But if somebody comes to this page, they'll want to know this information, step 1, step 2, step 3, only after they look to see what you're selling and if it's the price is right for them.
Right.
So this information.
They call it tire kicking.
Yes, that's true.
Tire kickers.
This is the information people want. Put that first, then kind of, make them feel good. Like, don't worry about it. I've got you every step of the way. And then after that, there's another package here. I would probably
put the biggest one first.
Perhaps, yes. I don't know. There's different strategies there.
I've heard that you put the biggest one first and you have kind of one package that's unattainable. And then that kind of takes the sticker shock off. And then afterwards, then they go like, this isn't that bad.
Well, that gets a little more into pricing strategy. I'm not going to, we can certainly talk about that at some point, but I'm not going to get too much into that because that opens up a big sort of potential tangent.
True.
But I would say, you just want your prices first. There's probably an argument, whatever. Hey, what is most popular? Probably put that one first,
right?
Then followed by the others, and then followed up with the information to make people feel at ease that it's going to be a nice, easy process,
right?
and then have your button.
Right.
Book a free phone consultation. A testimonial, always nice, like I said. And then let's look at the other investment page.
Oh.
Very cute. Again, same thing. I would follow the format. If somebody clicks on investment photo packages, the first thing they should see would be the photo packages.
Right.
That's what they want to see.
Right.
That's what they're here for. Show it to them. Then if they're like, okay, looks fine, then here's what the steps are. And then after the steps, get started, click the button, and we'll do a phone consultation.
Yeah.
And then I would probably, on this page has a bit extra about the film. I would probably put that then after the button. That's a kind of a judgment call, not as important, but okay. So then journal. I'm not going to touch on the journal because that's the blog. Blogs don't typically have calls to action. At least they probably shouldn't. That's a topic for another day. But let's look at the contact page. So this is nice. I like this. So one thing that I was interested to see, there are no links at the bottom. That's great. You don't want to put links. Once people get to your contact page, don't link away.
Oh, right. Because that's where you want to get everyone to.
Yeah. So you notice, I'll talk again about Amazon. Once you start the checkout process in Amazon, all the navigation disappears. You're in the checkout process.
Right.
You can't click away. You got to literally back out.
Right. You have to close out. You have to close out and redo it.
So once people have reached your contact page, they are
funnel in.
We assume that they're interested in contacting you. And I've had a lot of clients over the years want to put their social media links here,
right?
Which, to be honest,
take them away from it.
It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like somebody is knocking on your door and you open and tell them to go down the street. It's like, no, because when somebody clicks on your social, you think they're going to go and check out more of your work. Don't have stuff on your social media first that you don't have on your site. So once people have gotten to your site, you should have all the content here that you need to convince them that they should hire you. Number one. Right. Number two, once they go to social media, chances are pretty good they're not coming back. Yeah. Because guess what? All your competitors are also on social media.
Right. And they'll just keep scrolling.
Yeah. I had one client actually who did not believe me. And we set up a kind of complex test to see exactly what would happen. And I think something like 20%. So the people who came to his contact page and who left and went to his Facebook page, only 20% actually came back to the site.
Wow. That's a loss. That's a large loss.
Those were 100 people who were knocking on his door, and he told 80 of them to get lost.
Wow.
He didn't say get lost, but that's what happened.
Right. That he didn't want to hold their interest.
Right.
Or somewhat. Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I like this contact page. It's simple.
Yeah.
There's the schedule a call. This is obviously the next step that she wants people to take, schedule a call.
Right.
Like I said, I would take this button and I'd put it right up here. I'm sure
where
that this contact button just goes to this page anyway.
Right.
So just have schedule a call.
Right.
And the other thing, what a lot of people do is instead of having an email address, they have a contact form, because you can track contact forms. And then you can say, oh, somebody emailed me and they came from Google, or they came from Facebook, or I paid for them with this ad. If you just have your email address, you can't capture any of that information.
Also, I know that in my site, so I have the contact. What did you just call it? Contact form.
Form, yes.
Yeah, and then that goes directly into 17 Hats.
Yeah, you can integrate it.
So for me, it goes into 17 Hats, and then I get, oh, you have a lead, and it's already all the information has gone to the correct places in 17 Hats.
Right, and it can go into. You'll be able to integrate your contact form with whatever else.
CRM.
CRMs, Mailchimp. Your what is the one you use? Flowdesk.
Well, I use 17 Hats for the CRM. I know also there's Dubsado that Coley James loves.
Yeah. Well, whatever you're using, a form
of course.
will
There's
likely
gazillions.
integrate.
Honeybook.
An email address will not do that. And then the final reason probably to not use an email address is like bots are out there scraping websites for email addresses. So this will start to get junk mail. Whatever address you publish online like this, if it's real text, and it is, that'll probably start getting spam to that inbox.
Good to know.
So that's the site. That's it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's super helpful.
That's what I would do. And I would think with those, you're probably not going to double your business, but it would probably improve the conversion rate. So whatever traffic you are already getting, a slightly higher percentage of those people are going to reach out and contact you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Chris.
You are welcome.
I'm wondering if this will be something maybe we offer, like we could hold raffles or something. Something to offer for our listeners.
Yeah. I mean, we have so many listeners. It's going to be hard to choose,
We have Marcel, our puppy, and I think now we'll probably have Carmen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you want us, if you're listening to this, and you want me to look at your website, go to meredithshusband.com, and there'll be some way there to submit a message to us and say, hey, please look at my site. I'm not guaranteeing we can do it, but
right.
That's how we will go about this, at least for now.
Awesome. Well, this is super helpful. It's also helpful for me. It's always good to look at other websites and just to hear from you, because what happens with me is I have a tendency to look at other websites and think that's how I need to do it.
Yeah.
And change everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, you're not alone. I think we all do that to some extent. So it's, my own advice is to do that. If you're going to redo your website, look at competitors, get some ideas, think about, remember, jot down notes about the things you like, then shut them all. Don't keep visiting and then go back to your own site. Don't keep looking, because then every site that you look at is going to be different. It's going to give you a new idea, and it's a never ending process. And you're never going to actually finish your own website.
That's so weird.
And plus your website should be yours. It should be a reflection
100%,
of you and
100%.
your voice and what you want to say.
Right.
Don't regurgitate somebody else's.
Right.
It's not going to end well.
This is true. Thank you.
Okay. I hope that helped.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
See you at dinner.
Okay.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.